This video is not meant for children and is brought to you by support from Patreon. Hello, and welcome back. I am Maester Aelix, and this is Stellaris Empires. And today we're right back where we left off here on the start screen, but let's start. And today we got something special, silly, and just thoroughly story-packed. So, is this going to be a great empire? No. Will it make the numbers run up really high? No. But is it fun, silly goodness? Oh, hell yes. So let's get into it. Today's origin is Knight of the Toxic God, so we are a knightly order, and as such, I found it to be just hilarious to make their appearance. Well, since it's a toxic god, the new, at the time, Toxoids, and I went with these guys in a tube, because, yes, these are knights, they ride horses, and joust, and, Carillion. Wait, that sounds very familiar. Cough, cough, Han Solo, cough. Yeah, had to spell it a little different, but they're Carillions. Alright, and went with Toxoid 2, entirely for the, really disgusting Toxoid names. Live Rot, Slug Slurper, Leech Seed, Cursewood, Flylord. So, later, when the game gives us story inputs, they use these names. It's like, oh yes, the Righteous Knight, Abdus Muddung. It's like, oh no. Again, this is just a silly fun empire, so I hope you have fun with it. Alright, so since this was out with Toxoid, one of the new things in there was incubators, which grants between plus 30 and negative 10 pop growth, inversely proportional to the number of pops on the planet. So the fewer pops you have, the faster they will grow. This is good because we're going to give ourselves some challenges later, and it makes the game makes this empire a little more challenging. However, in the beginning, this will be a good boon. With natural engineers, because of Knights of the Toxic God giving us a habitat to start, we will have access to habitat tech, and we really want to capitalize on that. So, more engineering. Habitability is not really going to be a problem. A, there's a lot of technology that helps with that. And B, we're kind of doing a one-system challenge. Sort of. You'll see when we get there. And strong. We want the resource output on our knights and their lords and their squires to be as high as they can to get through this story faster. Not that we want it over with, because we just want to read the next chapter. Alright, onto our homeworld. It is the Heap. And the star name is Grimes. Because I figured silliness, compact of the Heap. And once you're reading the story, the Heap will be extra hilarious. Alright, city appearance. We went with continental planets for this lovely thing. And of course, the Toxoid city, which looks great. Continued the green theme. And room 29 gets the... We are in tubes, there are tubes. Since we are slightly war-minded, having this big reticle out the window totally makes sense. And I love it. Alright, so now onto Knights of the Toxic God themselves. Centuries ago, this species' homeworld was visited by a toxic entity. The ecological catastrophe that followed ruined half the world, but allowed an early unification of the survivors in their reverence to the toxic god. An order of knights has been created to research the toxic god, and although many things have changed, the quest continues. So we have toxic planetary features, which we really can't help till the story goes through. We have a unique orbital habitat, which is beautiful. 200% development speed, yes please. We have Orders Keep. This building cannot be removed or disabled. It has immigration pull, which is sad. Automatic resettlement, good. Knight jobs and squire jobs, yes please. And orders demands, housing, stability, and squire jobs, yes please. Politician jobs replaced by knightly order jobs. We have the quest for the toxic god situation. Unlocks powerful modifiers for knight jobs and toxic planetary features. We have knightly duties and policies, which we should go into quickly. Available holdings are order commandeers on subject colonies. Penalties, we have 3 pops less initially, but while that is a downfall, we will make that up quickly. We have some cannots, but we're not really going to worry about that. And now for the fun, crazy, silly stuff. Government and ethics. Ethics, we are a militarist, and we are fanatic xenophobes. Militarist is because it is necessary for our civics, and the xenophobe for more pop growth. I went with Imperial, not just because I hate elections, but resources from jobs up 10%, and the leader pool is diminished slightly, but that really won't matter. And now the civics. We are a knightly order. We are trying to find this toxic god, so I went with 2 things that felt very knightly. Sovereign guardianship. This collection of warring tribes have developed a historical preference for entrenched territories and defensive posturing. Now united, they are prepared to bring this philosophy to the stars, aiming to keep their borders solid and tensions low. We can unlock Fanatic Guardians as a defense army. Allows a building of reloading bays and star bases, which is really good. It increases your weapon damage, or speed. Weapon speed, sorry. And enables the inner focus edict, converting influence to unity. God, I love this, because I always end up running over on influence. It's like, what do I do now? So now our modifiers. Let's go with the good ones. Unity from soldiers is +1. Good. Diplomatic weight plus 20%. Yes, please. Empire size from districts down 50%. Yes. Empire size from pops minus 50%. Oh my god, yes. Empire size from systems 150%. Wait, no. Empire size from branch offices not applicable. And empire size from planets plus 100%. Oh no. Oh no. We also have a really good council position called the First Citadel. Our defensive armies do more damage. Our star bases have more hit points. Our star bases have more armor. Shield hit points in friendly systems are up 5%. Ship fire rate in friendly systems is up 5%. Accuracy in friendly systems is up 5%. I think I know what tradition we're going to go for first. Is it unyielding? Why, yes. Yes, it is unyielding. And Crusader Spirit. The lack of guidance creates weak minds, which easily succumb to corruption and plunge into decadence. This society has assumed a self-imposed mantle of bringing enlightenment to the masses through aggressive proselytizing. Commanders start with the Crusader trait and can only use Liberation Wars policy. Ship weapons damage is up 5%, ship build speed is up 5%, and we can get ourselves a Lord Commander, which increases ship fire rate and army damage. This is not as good as the one from Sovereign Guardianship, but that ain't bad. That ain't bad at all. And that's a commander position. So, Crusader Spirit, we shall go forth. Sovereign Guardianship, or stay home. Yeah, it's really fun. Alright, based on us being Toxoid, we sound like this.
I don't really have a lot to tell you. Governing the universe is actually quite easy, if you keep a clear head.
See? Governing the universe. We are the Compact of the Heap, or also known as the Heap, same as our planet. Now, the flag I had fun with. We have this Toxoid symbol, and I like that it's, spiky and round all at the same time. We have this big green divot, kind of like these tubes, and then the cradling darkness beyond. So, yeah, this feels right for the Toxic God for me, though I was also very tempted to do something with, like, a big sword, or some kind of, more overt knightly order thing. Alright, so for the first time we're using these Toxoid ships, and I gotta admit, with the chemical tubes all over, It actually has a really good look to him. I kind of wish the orange would change, but you know what? I'm not going to be that picky. Oh yeah, look at that construction ship. Thing of beauty. Colony ship, science ship. Just this weird little thing. I love it. Alright, for our ruler, I just did the random name, and of course, Pukeworm came up, so I'm like, yes. Reek Chard Pukeworm, our leader. He is the High Shield. His son or daughter is the Guardian. And I went with color variant 3 because green tubes. Now, in theory, 1 would still work, but 3 was more greener, so that made it more better. And with our ruler trait, I went with an official and gave ourselves principal. I thought for a while there to go with a commander, but we wouldn't be using that commander right away, and a lot of these things wouldn't help as much. So if we go back to official and give ourselves principled, that additional stability, while it is small, certainly helps. So let's get into there, and let me show you what you want to do to at least start. Long ago, our planet was divided. Petty kings squabbled consistently, and our population bled for their vain ambitions. But with the coming of the first High King, all of this changed. Their inspired leadership forged a kingdom without equal. Above all else, the High King was pious. War was waged against any who would deny their god, but the heretics persisted. The king's prayers were answered when the toxic god visited our world. Though its time among us was brief, its baneful influence poisoned the lands of the unbelievers. Any who survived pledged fealty to the High King. For the first time, our world was unified. The toxic god soon left us, but the king, determined to find it, founded an order of knights. For centuries, these valiant souls searched tirelessly, but to no avail. The toxic god had long since departed from our world. The next chapter of the quest would be written in the stars. With the use of powerful relics, it would be the Order that built the Empire's first orbital station. A mighty keep, it would become the springboard from which they plundered ever deeper into the cosmos. Hell yeah. Okay, so I'm not going to go too far into this video on the how to play, because the basics are there and everything is kind of laid out for you. You want to have a strong beginning, so we're going to go over that. Plus, I don't want to ruin this really good, fun, interesting story. Plus, there's a few good decision points along the way, so it gives some good replayability. But one thing you definitely want to do is get it with generous funding. That will go automatically, so you get 0.2 faster. On your fortress station, our population, make sure we get our Lord Commanders, our Knights and Squires prioritized. Alright. And then beyond that, it's basically do as you normally would. Now you see orbital habitats is available, so it's up to you if you want to do that or not. I did give us that preference for engineering for this reason. Plus we have a head of research and spark of genius, luckily enough, so we'll see how we feel about that. But one thing you want to keep doing is make sure you keep your population growing. Now, thankfully you have incubators, so that will help. So, Empire Capital, and it's already a fortress station. No reason not to keep it there. And you'll want to work on these orders demands. It's basically the best thing you can build on your space station here. Takes up half a building slot, gives 6 housing and 2 more squire jobs. Squires provide amenities and increases the output of Lord Commanders and Knights. Lord Commanders and Knights help progress the story along, which is why you kind of want a population boom. Now, if you look online, there's a lot of people who are going to suggest you build like MegaCorp with Reanimator, or someone who does a big into slavery. And while that will get you through the story faster, I don't feel that's very knightly. So, it's up to you what you want to do on that, but for me, this, since it's all story, this origin is all the story, just heaps and heaps of story, I went with something that role plays well and feels cool, as opposed to something that, you know, works stupendously awesome. So, if we look here, our empire size is already 56. We get because of that sovereign guardianship, we are sucking some penalties. Like, we have 2 colonies. That's the heap and the station. That's 40 points already. Gosh dang it. But our pops will do better. And as you progress through the traditions, you have options. But unyielding fits this sovereign guardianship thing to a T. Though you probably don't want to take it first, because there's nothing to defend against.
Completed.
So there's a few other things you may want to consider. Speaking of which, pardon me for interrupting, future Aelix from the editing room here, and I want to state that for a really great reduction of your penalties, you want to go with Domination, Harmony, and strangely enough, Expansion. Expansion has the Courier Network, which will get you reduction in the penalty for empire size from planets and systems. With these 3 in place, you can pretty much play the game as normal, though do be careful you don't want to expand too quickly. If we go to Policies and Edicts, there is the... was it Knight something? Knightly Duties. So we can be questing Knights, which gets Survey Speed and Anomaly Discovery Chance. Very nice. It's a good short-term substitution for Discovery. Knight Commanders. Home Territory Fire Rate, Ship Fire Rate, and Army Damage. Very nice. Or Courtly Knights. Diplomatic Weight. And yeah, if we're just exploring early on, go questing. Once we start getting into some battles, definitely do Ship Fire. And Courtly Knights, Diplomatic Weight plus 10%. Once we start getting into the, heavy diplomacy stuff, go for it. Plus, Inner Focus. More unity, please. Yes. Here's Knights of the Toxic God. Here's how you want to start out. You have a lot of flexibility and some really great stories out there. So, it's up to you what you want to do. I would sit here. If I was you, sit through it, play it, read it, love it, enjoy yourself, and just enjoy the story for what it is. And keep in mind, you're little dudes in a tube, which makes it even more hilarious. Trust me. There's a lot of good stories, and is this a turbo awesome, super great, you're gonna win every time build?
This situation has been
But
cataloged.
are we knights? Are we finding the Toxic God? Yes. Yes, we are. Very much so. So with that being said, here's where I'm going to say thank you all for joining me. I really hope you're enjoying this series as much as I am enjoying making it for all of you. If you do, you know what to do, and that's to like, comment, and of course watch 3 or 4 more of these videos to really show the algorithm that you like it. And of course, share these videos around. And please subscribe. It's a little click for you, but a really big deal for me, and I greatly appreciate everyone who does.
This situation has been
And speaking of people I appreciate, those would be my patrons over on Patreon, whose names you're going to hear in just a jiff. Check out the link down below. There's a lot of really good rewards, including early access to all my videos. So check it out. You might even like it. And with that being said, I shall see you all on the next one. And I'd like to give a special shout out to all my patrons who help make these videos possible. Aaron Smith, Brian Pelfrey, Chris Armstrong, Dennis Detman, Harry Thompson, and Mark Milius. Thank you all so much for your contributions. I wouldn't have this channel without you. Thank you very much.